Welcome to Coffee with Terry,
and Jen,
and it's 6:30
p.m.
So we decided to switch from coffee to this beautiful Manitoulin Island split rail amber ale. Hopefully you'll join us. And today we want to talk about investment properties.
Yeah, so Terry, we get lots of inquiries from people who are wanting to buy a rental property. So what type of property is best?
Well, I mean, it's really up to the individual. I mean, for someone starting out, generally we're going to be looking at single family, duplexes and triplexes. Fourplexes and higher, usually for more seasoned, someone who's got multiple properties, big time investors. So I think our focus, in this talk today will be for those people just starting out on their first or second property. My favorite is single family. It's an investment that you make, and you get a good tenant in there. You can have that tenant take care of the grass, take care of the snow removal, odd jobs around the house if you get the right tenant. So it's just really, it could be the most passive income. You're gonna make less money. You might only make $300-400 a month, but it's still a stable income. Duplexes and triplexes, there's a huge advantage there because you might want to move in and rent out the other units. And if you move in, you can get away with just paying 5% down on your mortgage. Whereas if you're buying it strictly as an investment, you have to put down 20%. So that's a huge difference when you're looking at, let's say it's $300,000. The difference between 5% and 20%, can be a big difference.
Yeah. So why are rental properties becoming so popular?
Well, our generation and younger, we don't have the pensions like our parents and many parents had, where you work 30 years and you've got a steady pension. Most of us don't have that, and so I think most people look at investment properties, rental properties, as an opportunity to create a pension plan. So this is it's an investment that's going to not only appreciate in value, but it's going to create mostly a passive income that's going to continue on as long as you have the property. So I think that's a huge advantage.
So for someone who's just starting to think about buying a rental property or sitting on the fence, what kind of questions should they start asking?
Well, you have to decide what your budget is. You have to get to the bank, see what you can afford, and where do you want to be? What areas are you looking at? Do you have, some people I want a property in New Sudbury, and that's their focus. Maybe they grew up in that area, they want to be in that area, or there's areas you want to avoid, that just are tougher rental markets. You have to decide, how much work do you want to do? Do you want to be involved with all the maintenance, whether it's snow removal or cutting grass or fixing plumbing, or so you have to decide, or do you want to hire a property manager? So there's lots of questions that you have to figure out before you get into it.
So you mentioned a property manager. What does a property manager do?
Well, they can do as much or as little as you want. Some people will hire a property manager and they'll do everything. They collect the rent, they'll screen the tenants, they'll do all the background checks, they'll take all the calls if there's issues with the tenants. They deal with landlord tenant boards if you need them to. They'll cut the grass, they'll shovel the snow, or you can just hire a property manager just to take care of the maintenance. So it's really up to you what you want, and we're gonna have a property manager on at a further episode to talk more about that.
So, talking about tenants, is there a key to finding the best tenant or a good tenant?
There's a lot of great tenants out there, but really, you need to take your time, have a really great interview process where you actually get to meet the tenant, you talk to them, you get references, you check the references. And many people get references and then they never even check them. So you make sure you check the references, and you want to see places they lived at. You want to check work references. If they just give you all their friends, the friends are gonna always give them a good reference. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of good tenants out there, like I said, and you just want to make sure that you take your time and do your due diligence and really make sure you've got a good tenant who's going to respect your property and you're going to create a good relationship with them.
I think that was some really great information for anyone who's starting to think about buying a rental property or kind of sitting on the fence, and it gives them a kind of bit of guidance just to get started in that process.
Yeah. Well, in future episodes, like I said, we're going to talk to a property manager, really get in depth about what they do, and then we want to talk more about secondary suites, because that's something that the city's really been promoting, and I think it's a great option for many properties, and so we want to talk more about that.
Well, that's great. So if you have any questions about rental properties, please don't hesitate to give us a call or send us an email, because we'd be happy to answer your questions. I hope you have a great day.
Bye for now.
Bye.